He said, probably not. Yeah, speaking to the mic.
These things
Yeah.
block my hearing.
Can you hear me? You good?
Is it on?
What do you want?
No, I just wanted to make sure you could hear me. It's good.
Obviously
That's
not.
my bad ear.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk
Well,
to him on that side.
I won't.
He'll be
Hey,
fine.
I'm old.
Hey,
It's my excuse for everything these
there we
days.
go. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for August 14th. Please note all members except for Mackenzie, she couldn't be here with us tonight. So with that, we're already going to start. Poor Lorena. So I hope that we had a chance to relax a little bit. Lorena has not, right? Oh, the minute. Oh, geez. Thanks. All right. I'm jumping all over the place tonight. All right. This is what happens when you take 1 month off. All right. So approval of minutes. Did everybody receive the June 12th meeting minutes? Everybody had a chance to look them over?
Yes.
So with that, do I have a motion to approve?
Move to accept the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second with that?
I second that motion.
All right. Does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns? All right, so with that, all in favor of approving the meeting minutes from June 12th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye, aye.
Aye. All right, we're good with that. All right, now I'm going to torture Lorena. So, of course, we took a break for July, but Lorena has been a busy bee, ending one fiscal season and starting with another. So she's got lots to present tonight, so sorry. We'll go ahead and start with Memorial Park expansion project.
Okay. Well, we are experiencing a slight delay due to state highways added site plan review comments. They want to see a lot of things notated now on the plans. Basically, this is a result of state highway hires contractual consultants to do their site plan reviews and provide comments and such. So with the former consultant, we were this close to getting our approval and moving forward, but then they switched consultants, and the new consultants came in and just, instead of picking up where the old one left off, they just went and did, a whole new one. And most of the concerns that they've raised are concerning hydrology, stormwater, drainage, runoff, that kind of thing. So Arrow is going to be going back and revising some portions of the plans to address the requirements from State Highway. But that's going to push us back a little bit. However, we still need to address a couple of comments with the County Forest Conservation regarding the landscaping plan and a couple of forest conservation things. And we have not received yet our green light, approved construction start date from the National Park Service. They're the ones who have issued us that $865,000 grant. So we can't do anything until they give us that date, that go date. Arrow's going to work as expediently as possible to get everything addressed so that we can get our site plan approvals. We'll need to then convey the easement deeds to the county for floodplain and forest conservation, and then we can, release that RFP, get that out there, and get the bid awarded to a contractor. So, don't have a definite timeline, but I'm hoping that we can still do that, maybe later this fall. And we'll see. Again, it's contingent on National Park Service and that start date from them. But if we have another mild winter, then we could get, some work done, a substantial amount of work done over the winter. So that way when spring rolls around, we're raring to go. Yeah. So that is where we are on that. Morton Buildings, they're chugging along. They're, but again, their part of this project isn't contingent on, traffic flow and, stuff like that. So they're just doing the building, but all is well on that side. So that's where we are on that. Any questions on that one?
No, we're good. All right, let's
Okay.
talk about the splash pad.
The splash pad. So the splash pad project was pushed to fiscal year '27, which encompasses calendar year 2026. This was primarily due to the amount of funding that would have been required to install it, and that didn't even include what it would cost to run it, as far as maintenance and all of that kind of stuff. Considering that we had applied for a grant but did not receive the grant funding for this particular project, and so we would have had to have, borne that burden entirely. And we don't have, we have very little in the park impact fee fund, which we get from developers as residential growth comes in. So we don't have any of that. We don't have any residential growth going on. So we have not had those park impact fee coffers refilled. So all of that being considered, and considering too other priorities as well, it was decided to just go ahead and push it then, and then we'll reevaluate when we get closer to that time. It also gives us the opportunity to apply for grants again, and keep knocking on that door, and maybe they'll go ahead and give us some money. We've been somewhat successful with getting grant funding, so we'll see where we
I
go
think
with
that's
that.
a safe bet now, because
Yeah.
the state has more, do they have more regulations with what we would have to do?
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
coming more and more, I feel like.
Right, yeah, there's a lot more red tape with, we thought it was just gonna be, when we conceptualized this, the recirculating water system. We all had worked on, the design, and, but we knew that there were some requirements. A water fountain, a shower head, an emergency call button, but the other requirements, having a full service bathroom with the changing table and all of that. The maintenance, ongoing maintenance, testing the chemicals 3 times a day, cleaning those bathrooms, because we know what that
So
would
we would have to
entail
look
with
at
that.
like part-time stuff too.
We would definitely have to have seasonal staff to take care of that. Yeah. So that's not.
It's not in the cards right now.
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately. While we all would have loved to have provided that amenity to the community, and I know they were
Absolutely.
looking forward to it, it's not feasible right now, not this fiscal year. Yeah, so.
Okay. Any questions for Lorena on that? All right. Next, general park improvements.
Yes. All right. Memorial Park tot lot playground replacement. So that old equipment, that old playground has been demolished because it was deemed unsafe, which is the reason why we were replacing it, and we got the grant funding for it. We could not donate it, or give it away, so we just scrapped it. We did get some funds for that. It was like $150 for the metal. Not much, but
Something.
it's something to go towards our portion, of the funding of the project.
Correct.
So the ground has been cleared, but the site will need to be prepped for the installation of the new playground equipment and the surfacing. So that's going to take 2.5, 3 weeks, for all of that to be done. So the last component is going to be that poured in place rubber surfacing.
Okay.
On our pre-construction site meeting, the company actually said, "Are you going to have someone here watching it overnight?" And we said, "You know what? We will make that happen," because
Oh, wow.
yeah, if it takes obviously time to cure, just like concrete, obviously, and if someone
Didn't even think
runs
about
through
that.
it or does whatever,
Yeah.
then
No hands in the.
that's, yeah, exactly. We don't want that. We want this to be a nice, smooth, So all in all, oh, and by the way, the rubber, poured-in-place rubber, not made from recycled tires. It's non-toxic, so we've got certification on that, so we're good to go.
I think there was a concern maybe that was
Somebody,
brought up.
yeah, somebody had brought up a question of, oh, gosh, it's gonna be recycled tires, they're toxic.
Right.
No, that's not, it's non-toxic,
Because I'm
safe.
sure there's regulations that have to be
Yes.
put into place before we can put.
Right, absolutely, and especially for something that could come, in contact with children, with toddlers, their face, their skin, all that kind of stuff. So this project is almost funded entirely by the program Open Space Grant Program. The total project cost is $110,412.46. We are getting grant funding of $99,832.50. So our balance is $10,579.96.
That's beautiful. Great
Minus
job.
the 150 we got for this grant.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Right.
No,
So
great
that's good.
job with
Yeah,
that, Lorraine.
yeah, and it's really cute. You all that saw the design, I think it's gonna be well-loved. Yeah.
So when's installation, or have they?
They are going to be really getting footers in and everything September 9th.
Okay.
Yeah, so it should be done by middle to end of September. Weather dependent, of course. Yeah, if we have good weather.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that'll be nice. Oh, and I don't know if you all remember the little blue spring teeter, blue dinosaur with yellow, little stegosaurus guy. We were able to keep that. So because the blue surfacing and the blue components in the playground, we decided just it was still okay, still safe, so we decided to just reintegrate that into the new setup. So that'll be nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
He was deemed safe.
that's right.
I
It
love
was. Yeah, yep. So we're all good to go there. Yeah.
Well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
The next project that's ongoing right now is the Taneytown High School Park field lighting installation. So Fern Rodkey, they were trying to get the poles in. They hit rock, or kind of thought that they would, but they're getting through that, so they get those poles in. The poles have to set the concrete and everything for, I think it's a couple of days. But then they're going to be trenching and getting the conduit in for all of the wiring and all of that, and then getting the fixtures up there. So they're moving along on that, so that's good. Yeah. And that project is funded in the majority by the program Open Space Grant Funding. So we do have to, our portion is a little bit larger on that one, but that project cost $83,499, and our grant funding for that is $51,085.50. So our balance is a little bit over $32,000 on that one. But I think, it's long overdue for them, for the softball team to be able to utilize
And
those
soccer.
fields.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
right.
yeah.
Well, actually, this year, the demand is so high in softball that
Oh, really? They're taking over.
Yeah, they
Okay.
can't, they don't
Well,
have
I
any
mean, that's
spare
good.
room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the demand for field space this year is the highest I've seen since I've been here. Soccer has like over 400 in their fall clinic sign up. I know baseball's got good numbers, softball's growing, they're all growing. So, yeah. Flickinger Park work, that's been completed. So we have good drainage in there now, and it actually flows down to the stormwater drain on the edge of the park property like it was supposed to. So that's good. Won't be a swamp in there anymore. Yay.
So when was that completed?
That was completed 2 weeks ago, the
Weeks ago.
drainage.
So
yeah.
it went through the
Yes, it went
rains
through Debbie.
and-
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And passed.
Right, it did.
That's super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. And then the two pathways from Bancroft and Morning Frost have been redone. Beautiful concrete. So, and the guys were out there today putting in new signposts using the existing Flickinger Park pathway or what have you sign, and then park rules signs under that with nice little solar light caps that we like to put on our
nice.
park name signs. So, yes, that'll be good. Let's see. Oh, something I wanted to touch on as well. that may be a little more slow-moving than our other projects, but Memorial Park War Memorial expansion. I don't know, we've kind of gone over this a little bit, but we're looking into partnering with the American Legion and some of our local VFWs, the Veteran Services Program of the county, anybody basically who would like to basically fund some two brick walls that we're envisioning, same color as the existing War Memorial. So you're familiar with the dogwoods that are behind the War Memorial? These walls would run parallel between the dogwoods and the other trees there. I think those pears or ornamentals anyway. And then there would be a couple of benches, some complementary landscaping, maybe symbolic like poppies, black-eyed Susans, things like that. So these walls would basically provide a blank canvas for loved ones to purchase a memorial plaque that could be affixed to the wall commemorating, their loved ones' service in the armed forces. So getting an initial ballpark figure of how much that would have costed us if we had just, go ahead and just construct it, it was like around 45,000, not including any like protective fencing that might have to go up to keep overflow parkers from in the area. So we'll see. I haven't received much interest yet from the agencies that I've reached out to, but that's okay. Keep going. Keep engaging with them, and maybe we'll get something. The commander of the American Legion, she would bring it up and see what everybody thought there. So I'm waiting to hear back from them.
No, it's good, and to reach out, get feedback, and go
Right.
from there.
Mm-hmm.
See what we can do.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I have on general park improvements.
Anybody have any questions on any general? Okay. So I guess we're doing update on 2024 events.
Yeah. Whew. So this is our whirlwind time of year. It's starting to slow down now, though. That's good. So the summer scavenger hunts have concluded. All my painted rocks. I think it was a really good success. We started out with 20. We had 3 rounds of hunts. We got 16 rocks turned in at the library the first round, 12 turned in the second round, and 9 turned in the third and final round. But everybody was really excited about it. They enjoyed it. The library was thrilled to pieces in getting people in. They signed up a lot of people for their summer reading program, and people saw everything, other things at events, and activities that the library had to offer. So I really feel like it was a good partnership.
Very much so.
And it served us both well. So it got people out in the parks to explore our parks and also into the library too.
Yeah.
So,
No,
so
absolutely.
that was good, yeah. So I'm gonna run those. I think we should run those again next year. What do y'all think? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 9 rocks. How many was that? 11
You're
that I've
gonna
gotta paint.
you're gonna
over
be
the winter.
painting
Okay.
painting more. Okay.
Right, yeah. The yoga in the park has come to an end for the summer. That was very well enjoyed. Everybody who goes to those really loves them. Miss Kim from the Taneytown Dance Studio ran those for us this year. We are going to be doing one in the fall, on the fall solstice? Equinox, that's it. Yes, that's what she called it. Fall equinox yoga. Yeah, so that's Sunday, September 22nd. And she'll be running that 10 to 11, again, down at Memorial Park. So, the youth tennis clinics, they finished up yesterday. This year, we did 6 classes instead of 4. So the price did go up a little bit. Now, we subsidize, or we pay for more than half of what what the instructor fees are. So we'd give that reduced registration to participants.
Okay.
We had 16 signups this year. We had 20 last year. So there may have been a difference because of the pricing, or just because there were more sessions, people, vacations, who knows? I don't know, but that's okay. It all worked out. The instructor said it was just the right number for group instruction as well as some one-on-one time. So, and this was our 5th year for our youth tennis clinics. So I think that's pretty good, chugging along. The adult tennis clinics are starting up. They're starting next Tuesday, the 20th. Again, 6 classes as opposed to 4. The price for that did go up as well, but we have a good number of registrants. I think we've got 13 registered. 19 was what we had last year, so that's okay. Yeah, still good. And then the Reading in the Parks contest, that's underway. It kicked off on the 4th, and it was going to end on the 10th, but then Debbie rolled through with all this torrential rain, so nobody was going out to the parks then, so extended it to the 17th. So, and we've got some pictures posted. So the top 3 with most pictures posted got prize bags, and they include just general goodies, candies, and little, toys and stuff like that, as well as we got gift cards from local businesses like Sticky Snowballs and Old Red Truck Ice Cream, Thunderhead Bowl, and Laughing Coffin as well. So, and this is our 5th year on our Reading in the Parks contest as well. So
That's exciting.
yeah, it is. The family movie nights are wrapping up. We've got the last one is on the 24th, next Saturday. That's the 5th and last one. And this year we did something a little different. We had Kona Ice and then Purple Polar Bear roll in, and we paid for free snow cones for the first 25 arrivals, which worked out well. I think we had, I guess our average attendance at these has been like 35 to 45
Okay.
for each of them. So yeah, surprisingly, the classics are the most popular. The Mary Poppins classic was, I think we had like 55, 56, something
Wow.
like that people there. Last year it was The Wizard of Oz. We had, I can't remember how many people for The Wizard of Oz. So people love the classics.
Yeah.
That was great. So next Saturdays is Despicable Me 3, and I will not be in town, so I asked Purple Polar Bear if they wanted to come anyway to go ahead and sell their treats, but we won't be doing the 25, free coupon things. Yeah. So, but I'm hoping that Carroll County Arts Council and the Taneytown Men of Faith want to run it again next year. They seem to be well enjoyed by the community.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think it's been great.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
I did.
one note on that, though. The Arts Council publicizes heavily
Yeah.
their outdoor movies at McDaniel, but not a peep.
Yes. So they've changed leadership there recently.
Yeah, they
Yes.
change leadership like people change their underwear.
Oh dear. Well, Stephen Stroh-Snyder is the interim director, and worked with him on the Artisan Fest, and also in getting him up to date on these family movie nights. He is interested in pursuing it next year, and he also stated that they would be publicizing, it in their calendar of events. I know they advertise in Carroll Magazine, and they always have their
Well,
brochures.
basically, I'm on their email list.
Oh, okay, so they push out the email notices, but nothing
Yeah,
about,
there was always, the list of coming events.
right,
But they always
I'll
had,
make a note
they
of
always
that,
had the
talk to Stephen
McDaniel
about it.
movies, but not ours.
yeah, interesting.
I will give a shout out to Grace UCC. They did put it on their
Yes,
board.
I liked how they
So
were
that was-
tying it in,
So
yeah,
I thought that was exciting to see that too, because I was like, awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Great- so great job to them for kind
tying
of
in the movie
promoting
name.
that as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
we thank you for that.
yeah. Our 4th annual photography contest is going to open on September 1st, and that's going to run through October 31st. So once we get all of those entries in, I'll be submitting them all to you for judging. And that, again, is the overall top prize, and then first and second place in each of the 3 categories: nature, action, and play. So.
Can I
Yeah,
do
maybe
a
we'll get
self?
some pictures of play on the new playground.
Well, that too. I was going to do a self-promotion too. So we have a couple things going on. So of course, Harvest Fest is going on September 28th. That would be great to get pictures at that event. And
Yeah.
of course, the new event, the Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. That'll make some really good
I
pictures.
know, that
So
would be.
try to find some really cool
That's
birds.
that's a bonus. You buy
Yeah,
your
it
ticket
is.
and you get all that, and then you could get a prize through the photography contest.
It's a win-win.
That's right. So yeah, speaking of the Harvest Festival, that's coming up September 28th, Saturday, 11 to 3 at Memorial Park. We are still accepting some craft vendors, and we're full up on the food vendors though. Like we've got how many? We've got 4 entree vendors, a pretzel vendor, and 4 dessert/drink vendors. So everybody's appetite should be sated at the Harvest Festival. So we've got all of our entertainment already lined up. Of course, live music by Midnight Run. Of course, the ubiquitous pony rides and petting zoo and bounce houses, games, hay rides, straw maze. Yeah, I think that does it. So, but hopefully we'll have good weather and have a good turnout. Yeah. And
You
then
need volunteers for that.
we are not helping vendors set up anymore.
Correct.
We're done with that. So there, yeah.
Answer that, Jerry.
Who's relieved about that? Yeah. So
Jerry's excited.
right. So no,
Yeah,
I
but it
mean,
is.
it's just a come and have fun type of thing. I
Okay.
mean,
But you don't need help setting. You
no,
said-
I'm just
okay.
gonna set up the
Okay.
Parks and Rec table and, put the,
Perfect.
flyers out and whatnot on it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Make sure everybody gets situated. But yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it. Yeah. Collect the number stake signs from the vendors' locations. So the next day after the Harvest Festival, Sunday, September 29th, yeah, is our inaugural Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. We have sold 2 tickets out of 15, but again, it's early days. So I'm going to actually put a press release together and submit that to the Emmitsburg News Journal and about
Okay.
it and see if they'll publish that. We are advertising with them for Harvest Festival, just so you know, because in lieu of a publication coming, or a newsletter coming from the city, I need to get the word out there besides Facebook and social media. So they're gonna run a 1/3 page ad, and it's gonna cost us $300, but it's still a lot larger and cheaper than what we would get through the Carroll County Times, for sure.
Correct.
And that hits everybody in Taneytown, so hopefully people will read it and they'll see that and come attend. So back to Birds and Bourbon. As we had discussed, the $25 ticket price is much more reasonable. And that is available through Ticket Leap. And there's, I think, $1.50 processing fee, something like that.
Yeah.
But still, it's a good deal. For under $30, ticket holders get 5 samples of the bourbons. They get a guided bird watching walk. They get a souvenir tasting glass. They get a raffle ticket to win the bourbon of their choice. I think all in all, it's a pretty good deal. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
I hope we get, I think, people aren't thinking that right now.
Right.
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's usually like 2 weeks before the event and people
Right.
scurry.
Right, exactly.
But we do have a wonderful gentleman, I don't know, but he goes to Bollinger and does videos
Oh,
and
Mr.
pictures.
Evans, yes.
Mr. Evans. So Mr. Evans, if you watch us, please join us. That would be great. He's the stuff that he posts is amazing.
He captures some really good wildlife
Deer,
shots.
yes.
Yeah, deer, all the different kinds
All
of
the
birds.
birds.
Amazing. Yeah, eagles,
pretty
orioles.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. He just,
So,
yeah.
yes, please join us. I would love to meet him because he does a really good job with that.
Does.
So.
Yeah. That's all I have for update on events.
All
Do you
right.
have any questions?
Any questions going once?
Nope.
Okay,
Okay.
then let's go, and I guess we're gonna do post-event discussions, so.
Oh, I do have a couple of miscellaneous updates.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. I am still working on the comparison of the Taneytown Athletic Association's expenditures, budgeted versus actual. So I've completed fiscal year '24, delving into fiscal year '23. I can only go back to fiscal year '21 because fiscal year '20, I only have half of it. I came on board in January of 2020, so I don't have any, you know, I mean, no measured records before that. So, but that'll give us a good enough picture, a snapshot of what we've been doing, what we've budgeted, and what we've ended up spending on the TAA organizations. So
I think it's just good data to have.
It
I hope
is,
it
right.
doesn't take you to a whole other point of craziness
No.
to get that information.
no, and it's good going forward. I've already started tracking for FY '25. These were the things that we had budgeted for and that were approved in the budget, and then, as we go along. And it'll be a good rubric for them as well, for the organization, because it's easy for them to say, oh, we need help with this. Okay, that's approved. And then turn around, oh, whoops, this happened. We need this, and we
Right,
need that.
we
kind of
just
thing.
need to make it
Right.
more fair on the other
Right.
leagues that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I don't know what that is going to end up looking like. If that's something, do we get to a point where we modify the MOUs to where, okay, each organization gets $3,000 a year, that's it. You determine what you do with it, but then we don't really have any control over,
Correct.
I mean, we want to make sure that the funding is being
mean, they would-
used for,
I would think if we put something like that into place, they would have to provide
receipts or something, yeah.
receipts and,
Yeah,
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 COIs.
right.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
might,
that gets complicated, but
so that might be something harder that's just like a flat amount. I mean, it might be based on registration. I mean, $3,000 to one group might be a ton of money, and 3,000 another might be
To
nothing.
others,
Right.
You know,
right.
so like,
Right.
it's, that would be hard to figure
And,
out, like,
right.
how do you allocate how much to each
Right.
group?
Right, and we have their, you
We,
get their
part,
budgets.
yes, as a stipulation of the MOU, we do receive their financial statements basically at the end of the year. So we know what they've
Kind of
got
gives us a
basically
better
in their
idea too,
accounts.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And then I know it's early in the fiscal year, and I know we've kind of talked about it. I mean, you can throw your thoughts in that, but if you could start tracking at least this fiscal year,
Oh, yeah.
anything that we have to spend on damages, cleaning up damages to any of our parks.
graffiti and vandalism and all
Correct.
of that kind of stuff, right?
I would like to have those numbers.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
No,
is
that's
that
a good
even
one.
something that you can go back? Like,
I don't want to kill her any more than,
Well, it depends. So, yeah, what I'm looking for, because I keep copies of all of the invoices, and then I put that with each monthly, financial, so that I reconcile everything. And it all depends on how I've coded the invoice. Like, I try to put the description on there, like Memorial Park vandalism, or whatever, Memorial Park baseball scoreboard, or that kind of stuff or whatever. So it would all depend on how I documented it. That might be a little bit harder
I
to
mean,
track.
like you have like an invoice for, obviously, like when you put the riprap in, but then when you had to put a second round in.
Right.
Like, that was because of that, so.
Right.
You know,
Yes, that kind of stuff, the bigger stuff, but like, and some of the stuff on the invoices or the receipts I could figure out, oh, graffiti remover, okay, well, that's, keeping that in stock, or what have you.
that's what I'm saying. Now and moving forward, if we can have
Right.
a running list, at least we know in 6 months, this is what Parks paid out for, just to give a better idea
Right.
to us as well as the community, because it's not just a rock that we're skipping.
Right.
You know, it's a folder that needed to be in place, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'll go back and see what I can find as I'm going through the previous fiscal years for the TAA expenditures. I can, I'm looking through all of the invoices, so each month by month, so I can check to see if there's anything, that
Yeah, I
jumps
mean-
out as
I
vandalism.
mean, even if you don't find it all, you could at least have an idea, say, well, I found at least this amount,
Mhm.
you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, but I'm hoping to have that to you guys by our October meeting. So we
I
can take a look at
appreciate it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a lot, I know you've got like 1,000 other things on your plate right now, so. um, It's just good to have that and then, to know their budgets and what we're spending on one per se than somebody else for TAA, so.
right.
It's
Yeah.
helpful to
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah. And then just one last miscellaneous update. As you all know, I'll be out of the country from August 24th through September 10th, so I will not be reachable. So Randy and Kevin with Public Works, they
Okay.
are going to take care of any parks-related situations. They'll reach out to you, Kelly, and you, Judy, if they need any, input
Okay.
or guidance. Of course, Jim, they'll consult with him if something, comes up or what have you, that can't wait until I get back. And then Heather and Kathy in the front office are going to be fielding Harvest Fest vendor inquiries and such, so they'll be covering that aspect of it.
That's
And then the
awesome.
rest I'll just have to catch up on when I get back. So,
I think you kind of deserve a break, so, yeah. No, thanks everybody for stepping up to make that happen so she can relax.
all right, that's all I have on miscellaneous updates.
Anybody have any additional questions or? Am I good? Okay. All right, post-event discussions.
All right, first one, Independence Day celebration. So this was by far the largest attended event of the year. I mean, we don't have an exact count, but just judging and ballparking by the number of cars in and out, there had to have been at least 1,000, if not more, people in the park watching those fireworks and enjoying the evening with us, which is great. The weather was great, the fireworks were fantastic, and I think everything went really well. We do need to have another food vendor. We had 3, and, main entree food vendors, and the lines were just so long. So we definitely need to have
I think it
one,
wouldn't
maybe
hurt to
2
have
more.
like 2 more. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Those food vendors were, at the end of the night, they were just, they were
Oh, yeah, they were
exhausted.
still, I mean, the fireworks were, and there was still a line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, exactly.
if
Yeah.
2 more could join us, that would be.
I think so.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The glitter tattoos were popular, and the bounce house was well used. So I think we should go with those as well next year. And then the only issue that we really had, other than the long lines, the food trucks, was traffic. A little bit on the incoming side. Outgoing seemed to be handled well. The police, Public Works, they had that down. That went very smoothly. Yeah, so next year, we'll just have, we'll have better and clearer signage to manage parking. And then we'll see. I know that Curaleaf and I think FlowServe had stated that they experienced some people parking in their parking lots.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think that might be something that we need to address next year.
Or maybe
Somehow.
tried to work with the
Right,
with the
right.
local businesses. I know by the drone footage, because Dan did the drone footage,
Yes,
right?
yeah, he
So
did.
Dan, you did a wonderful job, and you showed
Yeah, it was
that the
beautiful.
whole entire park was completely filled with cars.
It was something
Completely.
else.
We were not expecting any of that, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. All of this being said, though, if the expansion project is, I mean, I guess it's gonna depend on where we are with that. If that's completed, we may need to reconsider even holding a July 3rd fireworks display, just because we, we want to protect that investment.
Sure.
Those athletic facilities back there. I don't know, the building, the fields, the lighting, all that kind of stuff. It's not exactly somewhere you'd want to have firework debris and fallout.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Not on new fields. Yeah.
Right. The only other big open area that we have is Festival Park, but there's no way that can handle any kind of traffic or parking or anything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so,
I mean, it would be a shame to not do it. It's been building up,
Mhm.
and we get so many compliments. I mean, I
Right.
have friends coming in from other towns saying
Yeah.
that their towns don't do anything like that.
Right.
And like I said, I mean, they loved everything about it. Like their only complaint was the lines, but
Yeah.
but you're gonna address that. But like,
yeah.
as far as they said it's it's just a really nice show. It's it's not like there's just a few fireworks and they're kind of cheesy. I mean, it's a really nice
Yeah.
show that's put on.
Yeah,
So
yeah, the company, Fantastic Fireworks, is really good. They do a lot of cities in Maryland. I think they did our show on the 3rd, and then on the 4th, they were gonna be in Bel Air or Havre de Grace, I can't
I
remember.
want to say Havre de
Havre de
Grace.
Grace,
Yeah.
yes, because they like to do it over the
Yeah.
water or something. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty. I bet that's pretty. But anyway, and they're reasonably priced too. And we always take the off day to get
Cheaper.
the cheaper,
Yeah.
half the 50% discount. Yeah, but we'll see where we are, going forward next year with the construction
Yeah.
project.
I mean, obviously, we can't make that decision until we're
Yeah.
closer. But
Right.
I will say that event, I always look around and it's so nice to see all these kids, wherever you go, just playing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know each other, but there's like tons of kids just playing and it's wonderful. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
and
just nice to see.
yeah, and all the playgrounds are in use. They're
Yeah,
all having a
everybody's,
blast.
yep, everybody's busy with something, so
Yeah.
it's a really nice event, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, once we deal with the, some parking issues or work with, maybe some local companies to do some additional parking, yeah, and more food vendors,
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
know.
think we're good to go on that.
and we'll be good.
Alrighty. Do we continue on?
Yeah, anybody have any additional for, okay, all right,
No? Good, all right. So the Family Fun Food Truck Friday, speaking of food trucks, this was on July 19th, and it was a fun evening. I think it was well attended. We always have the pony rides and the petting zoo. I keep saying that over and over again. I feel like that's all I'm saying, pony rides and petting zoo. But anyway, this year we had live music by Bootleg, so that was good. And we had 6 food vendors, and they all did really well. They were all happy, and it seemed like everybody who came had a good time. So
Yeah.
the weather was good.
yeah, well attended.
Yeah. I think maybe next year, book some live music again. What do you all think about that? Go ahead and do that?
You good with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah? Okay.
I think so. I mean, even if they're not, we had some real followers of bootleg
did.
that came.
Yeah, and they got there early. The band was still
Yeah.
setting up, and they were like, "We're here for bootleg."
Yeah, it's like, okay, all right. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
kinda
good
funny.
too, because it
Yeah.
draws more people in as well, so,
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
Yes, definitely. And then the day after, July 20th, was the Artisan Fest. It was a lovely event, and the artisan vendors, my gosh, their products, they're just gorgeous, gorgeous things. A different kind of crowd, and it wasn't as well attended as we had hoped. We had Pipe the Side Brewing Company from Hampstead hosting our beer garden, and they were getting some customers, but and live music, 3 different musical acts providing live music. We had the Kids Craft Tent open, and that's just all free, and food vendors. But just wasn't really, the attendance just wasn't really there. And so Steven Stroh-Snyder with Carroll County Arts Council and Gwen Asbury, the event coordinator, and I had a virtual meeting, a post-event discussion, and like a pre-planning meeting for next year's event. And it really comes down to publicity, really getting the word out there. So just like with our movies, they didn't really advertise the Taneytown Artisan Fest like they do their Art in the Park in Westminster. Now, Art in the Park has been established for many years, so that's a well-known event already. It's big, and it's in Westminster, so you get more of a centralized draw. But we came up with some ideas to try to get more marketing out there.
The Artisan Fest did make Carol Magazine.
Okay, good. That's right. There was, I guess, is Carol Magazine, are they reporters? I guess they're reporters for a magazine. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So they had somebody there,
Yeah, but I mean,
pre-event
Event.
coverage.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was always listed in the coming events.
Okay, okay. Well, they had talked about amping that up.
And the Times did the post-event.
Yes, they did the post-event. I
They
think they
did
had some pictures
They had
too.
some photos and
Yeah, yeah.
a little blurb.
Right, yeah. So we'll see. We'll just be implementing some tweaks to expand it, bring some more attendance in,
Was
get some
there
more exposure.
another event in the surrounding, like a competing?
Not that we know
Okay.
of, no, yeah. And the other thing we discussed was time of year. You know, in the middle of July, I mean, I don't know.
It was a beautiful day.
It was a nice day, it was a nice weekend, so, don't know. So instead of the third Saturday, we've tentatively booked it next year for the fourth Saturday. So that's gonna be, I think, July 26th or something like that
Okay.
for 2025. Just to try to get, I guess, a little bit further away from, I don't know, mid-July vacations. I have no idea.
Maybe.
But we'll see how that goes. And that's all I got on that.
Any questions, any additions? No? All right.
Nope.
All right. All right. Reports. I'll just go down the list. Mr. Harvey, do you have anything to share?
Nothing to report on tonight.
Okay. Nothing for you. Oh, we're all, nothing new. All right. No? No? All right.
I knew.
All right. Councilwoman Fuller, do you have anything from
No,
council?
I'm not gonna
No?
go into anything, no.
Okay. And then, well, we have somebody in the gallery here. Nothing to address. I know, he's just coming for the, yeah, as I said, nothing to address. Okay. No, again, I know that it's hard, Lorena, closing out a fiscal year, starting a new fiscal year, preparing for a vacation, and trying to get things started. So again, we thank you so much for working on grants and getting that so we can make things happen in our parks. So we appreciate that very much. And yeah, enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
Well-deserved for sure.
Thanks.
And so with that, we have nothing else going on. So our next meeting date, do you want to change it? I mean, are you still good? I mean, we can plan now with one and you think about it, and if we need to change it, we will. Because we're going to have TAA first,
That's right, yeah, yeah.
and then we'll run into ours right after.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
And I don't know what's on the schedule for the following week.
for the 18th, yeah.
Correct.
I don't know. Don't see anything, but let's just keep it for September 11th for
Okay.
now, yeah.
All right. Then our next meeting date, tentatively scheduled for September 11th. And that would start with TAA at 6:30, and then it's just going to run into ours right afterwards with that. So if everybody's good. There may be, just to give you a heads up, we may have to change it just depending on Lorena getting back into the groove and catching up with things. But if that happens, of course, there's going to be an email that goes out.
I will actually be not here for that one, because we have a mammal dinner, so
Okay.
Oh,
I'll miss that one.
okay.
Right.
Understood. All right. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of adjourning until September 11th? Please signify by saying aye. Aye. All right. We will see you next month. Thank you so much.